This is King Interim, the king of many people, the spiritual leader of Amazonia. This possible question just came to me. What is the possible future for ARCC and the interim government? There are three possible outcomes having the ARCC and the interim government. And the reason I'm discussing this issue is because there seems to be a split between the interim government or the interim government supporters and ARC supporters. But what would be the possibility of having these two groups? The ultimate goal of every Amazonian is having a free country, a free state, a free and independent Amazonia. That is the ultimate goal of each and every Amazonian citizen. Our refugees having a free Amazonia, an independent, sovereign Amazonia, means our refugees from Nigeria will return home, will have a place to call home. That's what it means. Because the home with La Republic is not a home. Coexisting with La Republic is not home but slavery. To have an independent La Republic, to have an independent Amazonia, we must continue to struggle. And we do this for the people. It doesn't matter who the leaders will be. It doesn't matter if it's an interim government leadership. It doesn't matter if it's an ARCC leadership. The ultimate goal, the ultimate prize, the ultimate everything is a free Amazonia for all Amazonians. And that's what ARCC or the interim government is about. We shouldn't be fighting just because we believe so much in the interim government or so much that we believe in the ARCC government. They're all working for the same purpose, the same objective. We shouldn't lose that. It doesn't matter if we're supporters of the interim government or ARC. We need to stop creating this illusion of division among ourselves, where you go by insulting Ayabacho as being as evil as President Paul Biya, which is not true. We all have different opinions about, or different reasons of how we channel our ultimate goal in achieving the independence. Somebody like Ayabacho has always believed in military, and I agree with him. I believe completely in having a strong military. But the interim government is flip-flopping in that area. At first they didn't believe, they were all about diplomacy. Now they say they are, maybe it's because they have a new leadership. But what is the possible outcome of having the ARCC created and the interim government? There are three possible outcomes. One of the fractions, I'll call it, like the interim government fraction or the ARCC fraction, will become more powerful and consume the other, and so that in other words, it becomes one ultimate group fighting for the independence of Amazonia. That's one possible outcome. A second possible outcome is having a bipartisan agenda between the ARCC and the interim government. That's another possible outcome. And then the third one is both fighting Republic from their own angles. The interim government fighting using diplomacy, and ARC fighting using diplomacy and military might. Because as we know, the interim government does not have a military. And with all the finances that they have, they don't think about creating a military. I don't know why they do that, but a military is needed, a huge military. If it's not huge, multiple groups of military need to be created. Multiple. So that we can hit La Republique from different angles. From left, from right, from center. That would create an atmosphere where they will have no control over Ambazonia, over the land of Ambazonia. This internet is keep cutting. I don't know what's happening. But anyway, those are the three possible outcomes, having the ARCC and the interim government both working from their own channels, but the ultimate goal is reaching Buea, or the both forming, or both of the ARCC and the interim government work together, forming one conglomerate, which is still working for the restoration of Ambazonia. Or we just keep fighting each other, but not losing the ultimate goal, which is freeing Ambazonia, freeing the land of Ambazonia, because without that, our refugees will suffer. Our refugees in Nigeria are suffering because the Nigerian government doesn't support them in the first place. They are allowing the military of La Republic to venture into their own territory to abduct our refugees. They are not safe. So just fighting among ourselves, well, it doesn't look good. Although there are other possibilities from having two fractions within the Ambazonian struggle. Two fractions meaning that we can hit La Republique from different angles. We need to support our leaders. Our leaders need to support the people. If we don't do that, we will lose this struggle. The struggle is bigger than all of us. It's bigger than Sisiko Ayok Tabi Julius. It's bigger than Ayabacho. It's bigger than the new active interim president. It's bigger than the leaders. It's not just about the leaders, it's about the people. It's about being slaves for the past 56 years, about not having a place for your own. It's about not having security. Creating a different future for yourself, because the future with La Republique is death. A future with La Republic is enslavement. A future with La Republic is meaningless, it's pointless. Only future with Ambazonia. And we may fight among ourselves, but let's not forget that we're fighting to create a future for all Ambazonians. So our leaders, from Ayabacho to the new active interim president, we must work together as Ambazonians. That's the only way. We may have different principles, different ideas, different agendas, different goals of how to accomplish what we need to accomplish. But we must reach Buea. We must definitely reach Buea. And to do that, we need a military, a strong military. What the Tigers and the ADF are doing is okay, but we need more effort. We need more strategy. We need a bigger military to fight La Republic. So that when we hit them in one town, we can hit them with on the next town. We can strategize and hit them everywhere all over southern Cameroon to make it more difficult for them to penetrate our homeland. Right now, when we kill a couple of military of La Republic, what happens? They become more aggressive. And the military on the ground are not powerful enough to cover the entire southern Cameroon, the entire Ambazonian land. With that, we need the finances, which is why the ARCC have decided to come together to put their resources together to create a better military and a better way forward for the people of Ambazonia. It would make it right if the active interim president endorsed the ARCC and try to work with them. Because even in the future, after successfully reclaiming our territory, we still have to work with each and every Ambazonian to create a better future for Ambazonians. So it's not by saying, oh, Ayabacho is evil and this and that, creating a very negative, denigrating attitude towards one leader just because you are supporting the interim government. Now, or just attacking the interim government because you're supporting the ARCC. We have different opinions and ideas about them, but we are Ambazonians. Let's know that. Let's not forget that. Because we start fighting among each other and then forget about the struggle that is happening on the ground. Forget that we have over 50,000 refugees in Nigeria. Forget that everybody's spread out across the world just because they are running from the homeland. And not everybody can run from the homeland. And you have more death. Yeah, you hear of a grandmother being burned alive, or a young guy's neck being cut off by Francophone, and the Francophones are happy doing that. For them, they think they're doing something great. For them, they think they're putting fear upon us, but we're beyond that. Nothing scares us right now. We've seen all that. We've heard about all that. We've felt it. The pain, the agony, the frustration that the French Cameroonian citizen as well as the French Cameroon government inflict upon us. And don't forget, France also is part of this. On the ground, we have Chad fighting against Ambazonians. We have France also getting involved. Don't be surprised when they